This is the Rank and File Rebellion, the Away from Home Terminal Television. I am J.P. Wright reporting. Railroaders, what you are looking at is a shovel. This is a shovel. Just to let you know, this is a rake. And this is a tobacco stick. It has a number on it. 1-206-984-3051. That is 1-206-984-3051. That is the telephone number that you can call to ask questions about what it's like to be in the labor movement. Call that number, leave a message, we will get back with you. Or you could send a email to this sticker here. This sticker is also known as, let's see here if I have it. I might have loaned out my tools, I don't know. But anyway, oh, here it is. Send an email to no-one-person-cruise@gmail.com. This right here is a tractor. Now, the reason why I'm saying these crazy things is because railroaders, I just had a face-to-face meeting. Oh, sorry. This right here is the farm. Now, actually, it's just the newsletter from the farm. Now, railroaders, I just had a wonderful experience. I got a chance to sit face-to-face with my wife and kid, with Wendell and his wife. Now, I got to do this because of the work that we've been doing in these railroad safety, workers, community, and the environment conferences. And we're having another conference in Chicago. Now, look up Wendell and see who he is. He's a poet. He's a visionary. Very, very, very respected and decorated leader in a community called the Sustainable Agricultural Community. That's what he's been talking about for a long time, about the theft of our farms, family farms. Here's some interesting things to know. There used to be 60 million farmers in the United States, and now there's only 4. Wonder where all them jobs went. But anyway, we were talking about labor and the labor movement. And he was getting ready to tell me what he thought was wrong with the labor movement. And he was telling me a little bit. And, I'm not going to, Wendell Berry's in my state. He only lives about an hour away from me. He's an incredible person, very deep thinker. And I told him, you know what I think's wrong with the labor movement? They've become very susceptible to the diseases of corporate America, such as competition, aggressive behavior, cornering the market, protectionisms, and all of those things. They seep into the culture of the unions. Also, things like, here we are, human beings, being told by the railroad that our number one enemy is human factor. We must eliminate it. Folks, if y'all haven't figured out what a union is yet, y'all better hurry up, because we are human beings. And a union is supposed to be a group of people who come together to forward a common goal. Now, Railroad Workers United is somewhat of a culture change in what it is that and how we do things. We use different kinds of tools. We're a different sort of community. We are a community and an organization grassroots. We want the bottom of the organization to be as fertile as possible. We want them to be educated. We want them to be educated in labor. We want them educated in how to write articles. I learned how to write. I'll tell you a story. I was at a labor notes convention which, Railroad Workers United, we tack on our convention to the Labor Notes Convention. Labor Notes is a magazine, but every 2 years, of course, they have a big, huge convention in Chicago. And there was the editor of this magazine, her name was Jane Slaughter. Now, I got kicked out of the 10th grade. I kind of know how to write. You start with a introduction, and then you start with the meat of the article, and then you write a conclusion. I knew that from going to high school, but I got kicked out of school. But anyway, interesting community there. The kinds of people in this rank and file rebellion that I call it this. Jane sat down with me, and I wanted to write an article about the attendance policy on the railroad where I worked, and about how unfair it was, and about how the union was going to fight it in the courts, but they were doing nothing really to fight it on the shop floor, meaning at the railroad where we actually worked. And she helped me out, and she ripped my ass about it, and she sent it back more than once. But here's the interesting part about the rank and file movement. The editor of this magazine took the time to walk me through the process about how to do something. Now, Charlie Richardson is a friend of Railroad Workers United. He passed away. He wrote this article called How to Act Like a Union on a Labor Management Committee. I learned a lot from that article. Then I learned a lot about behavioral-based safety, which is this tool. If you've seen this sticker, it's probably because a rank and file activist of Railroad Workers United has put it on the engine. It says, fix the hazards, don't blame the victims. Now, if the railroads want to eliminate human factors, what's a human factor? Human factor derailment, human factor this, human factor that, human factor this. If the unions are made up of people that are going to sit around and talk to each other, to come together to collectively, cooperatively solve problems together, that is in direct competition with their structure, which is known as a top-down structure, a corporate structure. The bottom cannot question the top. Do as we say. Now, why would you want to join RWU? $50 a year to go to an organization that, number one, we don't do politics. You are free to do whatever you want to in the political realm. And on our Facebook page, you can talk politics all you want. On the engine, you can talk politics all you want. We don't use any of our money to support any political parties. If the unions want to do that, fine. We don't do that. We also teach people how to use the tools. That's what I'm talking about with Wendell Berry. Talking about farming communities. His father was a tobacco farmer, and the community was self-sustaining. Now, that's what the unions are all about. Where is the Women's Auxiliary? Why can't we have a union meeting where we invite the wives and the spouses, and they get to meet each other, and they get to talk about all the things that they have to deal with being in the railroad industry where the divorce rates are very high? Why can't they have a support group? Because I'm going to tell you what, anybody that knows, if our wives got together, they'd want to burn the joint down. They're mothers. They get to see us do this job. We don't complain about it. Some of us do. Some of us deal with the woes of working on the railroad, but they see it, and they have to deal with it. And I guarantee if we got our women's auxiliaries to be strong, we'd probably be in trouble. Especially if you can meet Wendell Berry's wife. But anyway, I digress. And my wife. Seeing my wife and Wendell's wife talk was pretty incredible. Brothers and sisters on the railroad, all I can tell you is this. If you don't get involved with your union and start asking questions and start doing something, nothing is ever going to change. I've been criticized thousands of times. I've made thousands of mistakes. And I've made lots of these videos. You go back to my videos in the beginning, I'm a kind of a different guy. I've learned a lot from this organization. You want to know why? Because they're willing to sit down and teach you step by step how to do what it is that you need to do, especially when you get involved with a union that doesn't want to be cooperative, that wants to be corrupt, doesn't want to use the money of the organization properly. That's what being a whistleblower is all about. They don't like it. Are we airing the garbage of our organizations? No. We are taking control of our organizations because they are ours in a democratic fashion. And that is ours to do. What is the mission and vision of the BLET? What is the mission and vision of the SMART? Do you know? If you don't, find out. Get a copy of the Constitution. Watch one of my videos about how to pass a motion. What is a resolution? A resolution does not carry weight. It sets the course and it resolves to do something. Whatever it says at the bottom, therefore be it resolved that we will write letters, we will lobby legislation, we will call out, we will do this, we will do that. If the organization doesn't do what's in the resolution, then yeah, it doesn't carry any weight. But if it puts something into motion, then it's an effective resolution. Now, brothers and sisters on the railroad, get your head out of the sand about if and when they're going to run one man. There's a union culture of scabbery in the UTU and the BLET. That's historical, fellow workers. Do you know who Eugene Debs was? Do you know who Mother Jones was? Do you know what an injury to one is an injury to all? Do you know where it came from? How about some labor history, fellow workers, railroaders? Learn the history. Learn how to use your tools. That's all I got to say for this one. The new highball's out. The new highball's out. Got some wonderful articles in it. Mark Burrows has got another article in there. He's very inspiring to me. We need inspiration out there. It's a big problem. Lots of things going on. Our new RWU resolution on inward-facing cameras and locomotives. Do you know it's 4 a.m.? Do you know where your union is? What are they going to do? So, we ain't going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, railroaders. We're going to hold the baby, fix the union, and do it together like a community of people who love each other. And that's what we've got to do. And that's what it requires of us. So learn how to do that. And call our number, write us an email, and get involved. Over. This has been the Away From Home Terminal Television. I am J.P. Wright reporting the Rank and File Rebellion, a cultural muckraking freakout. Amen.